Hey everyone, it's Jam here, and today we have a ZEFRA Satellite deck profile. It's a really weird deck, not a lot of people know how to play it, but it's an extremely consistent deck. It can easily do what it wants to do. And yeah, decided to build them. Been testing it for a week, and it's been great. There's so many plays, and you can just end with ridiculous fields, impressive ones even. Not a lot of people, as I said, not a lot of people know how to play this deck. But it's simple. Try to explain it in the process of showing the deck profile. So yeah, here we go. Triple the Nebs, Searcher, normal summons, Rotor target, really good card. He has 2 search targets, which is Zephra targets. This one is Zephra Fuben. This is the face up pop guy. When you pendulum or normal summon it, pop a face up, target face up your opponent controls and your own Satellite or Zephra card, so you can pop the Neb, pop your opponent's face up, or your scales, any Zephra scales. You can pop, you can't pop yourself though. It'd be amazing if you can, but you can't. That's be another card. And it's once per turn for this card, so you can't summon 2 of different ones and do it twice. That'd be crazy good, but you can't. The other target for the Neb is Satellarknight ZEFRA Satelllarknight. It's the same as Zephra Fuben, but it's pops face down. So you pop your opponent's face down, target, and then it'll pop. So easy to use these cards. Now the combo with these two is you pendulum summon these two at the same time, and he'll pop him and he'll pop him, and you pop 2 of your opponent's cards, a face down and a face up, and there you go. They go to the pendulum extra deck zone, or the extra deck, whatever you want to call that. Then next turn you can keep on doing it as long as you have the scales. So it's quite annoying dealing with it if you have it the setup. And it's really easy in this deck. And keep in mind, you can also use these as scales. He's a 7 scale, he's a 1 scale. And there you go. There's all the Satellite in the main deck, I think, unless if I'm wrong. Okay, that is. And these are the Zephra, young Zing dudes. 3 of this guy, really good card. When you pendulum summon this guy, or when you pop it, you search your deck. And keep in mind, when you pop it, you can miss time. So when you do this card, let's say you pendulum summon these lot, you should pop him as Chenic 1, so you can't miss time. We're assuming he's already on the field, because if you pendulum summon this guy, he can never miss time, since pendulum summons don't start scales. So yeah, just make sure you don't miss time and miss a waste of a card search. You can search the field spell or the counter trap that we play. We don't play the other ones like the continuous spell. There's no space for those cards, and they're not that good in my opinion. So, and there's the other Zephra Yang Zing, is that this guy. They're all Earth, so I wish that's a dark and a light. That'd be really good, but never mind. This is the Earth guy. When you summon from the deck, or pendulum summon, most of the time you do the effect by pendulum summoning him. Make another dude a tuner, only a Zephra dude or a Yang Zing dude. So make him a tuner, make him a tuner, make other guys a tuner. So you can synchro with these. So most of the time you can synchro with them, or that. Or that, mix and match. There you go, you got your synchro monster. A lot of levels, a lot of options. Easy to use. And he's a 1 scale, this is 7 scale. You'll find at the end of the deck profile we have more 7 scales. So 1 scale, if you're playing against this deck, you want to pop the 1 scale since they're 1 out of that card. For the Nekroz bit, yes, we are playing Nekroz in this, so we have 4 cards, pure Nekroz cards, 2 Bionic. Pitch it, search a Nekroz card, search that, or the Zephra Nekroz cards, which of these 2. Search that. Play Trish, because you can kill your opponent with this card, it's just so good. And Klausulas for the Jin Lock, as well as the Mirror Searchers. And he's level 3, so the exact Jin Lock numbers. And speaking of Jin Lock, we have the Jin Releaser. Now Brio can search just these guys. These are the scales that you can search for, or the Zephra monster. This guy, you rarely use him as a monster. I just use him as scale. There's not a lot of 1 scales in this, so he's usually the guy in the other side of the scale, and the other side to 7. And you don't really use his effects, and you neg too much to do it. I prefer using the mirrors, so he's just a scale. Just imagine that as a scale. And this guy is really good. I wish I could play 2, but there's no space. He's level 5 as well, so if you ritual summon using a ritual spell, that's a 9. Adds up really well. And for Brio, if you want to ritual summon him, that's a 6 exact amount. Classless, you don't really ritual summon him unless you're tributing this, so it's irrelevant really. Well, that's a 3 if you need to. Don't do it, there's no point. Where's that guy? He disappeared. There he is. He's got an additional effect as well. If one of your Zephra or Nekroz dude dies, for example, you left the Trish on board. Let's say you tribute it from hand, it's in the graveyard now. And like Rageki, this guy, you can summon him. So it's just, he's the better one of these two. This guy is a ritual spell essentially, but you have to tribute him from your hand, and he doesn't count his own level, so it's too much. That's what I said, it's too much next, so don't use him as a spell. Unless if you really have to. Gin releases, because Gin lock. And they're all divisible by 3, so easy to pull off, especially with these two. That guy's really easy to pull off, and this guy is quite easy if you tribute the Brio or the Zephra Queen Yu from your field. I don't know what this name is now, they changed his name. Don't know the name. And oh, of course, we have 3-man juice. Search a ritual spell or a monster, usually search the Brionac. This is the same as searching a spell. So he's your 4th, 5th and 6th neb of the deck. So you have all of these searchers. There you go, that's your searchers. Now, the important thing about Pendulum deck is to keep your scales up, which is why it's important to conserve these cards in your hand. Because Pendulum summoning is really powerful if you have the scales, and it's nothing if you don't have a scale, complete scale. Spells now, there's all the monsters in the main deck, so spells. Oracle of Zephra. This is mandatory to play at 3. On play, you search your deck for a Zephra monster. Too good of a card. I wish it was once per turn on the search, like search, but you can't. It's on play, slightly bit nerf. You search this card by dim. If you go first, I would recommend searching another one. Even if you used one already. I wish there was a way to recycle this back into the deck, but at the moment I can't think of one. There's a Neo Space thing, but it's crap because you don't get the activation effect, so it's nothing. I might try out Jar of Avarice, but there's no space at the moment. Since the field spell is really important, we play 2 terraforming just because you want to search it. You'll go through a third one of this really often, especially with MST at least 1 or 2. You go for the third one, you'll search quite often for this card. It's really good. That's more searches. And for more searches we have Triple Rotor. You've got 3 different monster targets. Klausulus, the Neb. This is the main target for this. Main reason why we play it is triple the Neb, because the Neb's basically Zephra Fuban. You can't search him, he's a fiend. I don't know why he's a fiend, but he is a fiend. I think it's because the lore implies it's Excited Knight in Zephra form, which is cool. And there's your targets. Most of the time you search this, which you can search that, so don't really search that. But if they negate that, or you've already got the 7 scale dude, then you've got a row to spare, and you need to pendulum summon and search that, then it's alright. So there you go, there's the targets for this card. I think we're going up to 12, 13, a lot of searches already. See how often you can open up with at least 3 or 4 searches. It's ridiculously high chance. 2 MSTs, just MST, pop back row, pop their MST, which you can pop your scales or pop Call the Haunteds or the field spell like Necrovalley or some annoying cards. Get rid of the annoying stuff. Staples, Bookman, Regeki, Jin Lockout, a bit of defense, and Regeki to kill stuff you don't want in the field. And the ritual spells, Preps, Cycle, and Mirror. Preps to get Bryo, is your third Bryo. You get Class for this as well, but you usually get Bryo. There's no point in getting anything but Bryo. Get a field spell, a ritual spell from the grave as an additional effect. Don't really use it as often, but it can be useful sometimes. Cycle, Mirror, we don't play Kaleido, as there's not a lot of Nekroz monsters already in this deck, so there's no point really in playing that. Cycle to bring back Bryo from the grave by tributing this guy. Like, for example, you got one scale already, pitch Bryo, get the other scale. Get the 7 scale, for example, then into the next deck, Pendulum, summon that. And you got the Cycle in hand, activate Cycle, get the Bryo, tribute this, get the field spells effect. I'll explain the field spells effect in a bit. Mirror to summon Trishula if you have a Trish in hand already, or a Manju and a Bryo. There's a Trish play. I think most Nekroz players know how to do this. Just like search Bryo, search Class Solars, search Mirror, activate, tribute both the Shrit and the Bryo in the grave by banishing them and summon Trish, and effects can just make you win the game. Swing the tides of the game. You can even tribute a Zephra monster. If you did, get a field spell effect again. 2 to counter trap. Only 2 since it's dead. Beginning of the game, mid game is very live, and it can't do anything. This is the only defense mechanism in the deck outside of your own monster, Jin Lock and defensive monsters. So yeah, banish a Zephra from your extra deck to activate, and there you go. Stop any card your opponent does. And that's all the main deck stuff. Now let's explain the field spells effect. Where is it? It's gone. Let's find it. Right down there. It's actually gone. Oh no. Where the hell is it? There it is. What a pile of cards. The field spells effect. It looks really cool. On activation search, which I've explained already, when you synchro, you top deck any card, any monster card, sorry. Most of the time you will top deck this or this guy, which will make you plus next turn. So most of the time do that. Now if you fusion, which I don't do, you summon a monster from your hand, so you can special summon that from hand and effect and stuff. But I don't fusion this deck. In my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro 1 I do, and I rarely use the effect anyway. However, you can summon any monster, so if you build a weird version where you got like a ridiculously powerful monster in hand, you can pull it off, I guess, but I can find out. I can see that's quite inconsistent, so I don't recommend it. When you exceeds like overlay into this, as an example, as an exceeds, you draw a card and pitch cards. So if you got like a dead card in hand, for example, a Mirror, like this, like that's top of the deck. You draw that, this. Oh, I like this card. Pitch that. There you go. You got your free card that you don't want gone, and you got a card that you might want. And the best effect is if you ritual using a Zing, a Zephra, so I tribute that for cycle, summon this from the grave. Shuffle the monster back into the deck. You can shuffle your own monster back, because you can, but most of the time you shuffle your opponent's. And then, that's it, you got some other effects going off as well. It's really nice. The field spell is really good. I wish there was ways of recycling it, as I keep saying. It's just so important in this deck. You need to play free. Now, extra deck stuff. some staples that we should go on to first. Cast out next item. Field wipe, shuffle back to deck. Pistol 101, take monster, negate graveyards, annoying stuff. You can drop these mix and match or whatever, get rid of that for Rhapsody, anything you want. Your personal choice. You just, but I think you should just play Castell at least. You can drop Excite in this deck as well, since you got a lot of field presence that could just be even dead cards like 1 scale, so it's hard to pull off an Excite and play. Lavalval Chain for the Gin Lock, and a follow-up play to top deck a Manager and then good card. You need this if you're playing the Nekroz build. Emerald, since you go through your stuff really quickly in this deck, like the Search, Brio, Pitch, then gets killed. Detach for material for this guy. Then there you go. Recycle, freak monsters, draw a card, good card. 3 months away I think in this deck, and personal choice. One of my favourite XYZs at the moment. Tsukuyomi, a lot of light monsters at level 4, Manju, then Zephra guys. So pitch at least 1 card. Draw 2 cards. You just +1 out of nowhere. Like pitch a dead card, like say that's dead. Can't even use it. There's nothing in your extra deck. Just like pitch it, draw 2. Really good card. Makes your engine a lot faster. Tsukuyomi. I need this in Ultimate Rare. I didn't know it was in Ultimate Rare until like 2 weeks ago, so I'm looking for that one. New cards. Just want to try it out, but I think it's good anyway to put them in. But it's not that new. This is new. Satellarknight Ptolemaios. It's just a Satellarknight that you need 2 generic monsters, rank level 4 monsters to exceed into. You don't really use effects at all, just use him as a fodder for this guy. Diamond, Stop Standing Abyss, and Shadow, Light Swans, Infernoids, a lot of stuff, and decks that gets cards back from the grave. It stops a lot of stuff. The biggest thing that it can't stop though is Nekroz. Doesn't stop it as much, but it stops a lot of meta decks. I'm trying these out in all rank 4 decks I'm using, so I've just got them there. You don't have to use these. And that's what this is. Let's go through the Synchro monsters. Yazi and Clearwing Synchro. Shout out to Zed for this. Let me have it earlier than the trade. Yazi because it's a Yang Zing monster. Now you can make Synchros in this deck by summoning. Oh god, I gotta look for it again. Where is it? The retarded looking Yang Zing guy. There it is. Let's say he's on the field, pendulum summon that, or summon it from the deck. You already do the second effect because outside of Yazi's effect. Make that level 4 tuner. Then you make a level 7 play. He goes back to deck. Which is, I don't like that effect to be honest. I think they should have just kept it as he goes to the extra deck. So you can just spam pendulum, spam Synchros after pendulum summoning. But that's just because they think it might be too good, so oh well. And make Yazi or Clearwing Synchro. Then the field spell goes off, top deck at the Neb, for example. Now Yazi is a Scrap Dragon. Pop one of your own. I think it's a Yang Zing card. You can pop himself, pop opponent's card. So you can pop him essentially, and then pop something. Then since he's pop, you get a search. Since the pop happens simultaneously, this isn't his time. Of course, they've done it like that because it's all the Yang Zings at this time. So. And Clearwing Synchro, it stops a lot of Shadows, and people don't know how to play around this card, like in that YCS, where all the Shadow players just make Construct and it just dies, because Clearwing Synchro just kills it. And if anything targets this, you just stop it once. It's a good card. I'm considering playing 2 Yazis as well, but I've only got 1 at the moment. But I don't think you really need 2. Oops. And level 8 Synchros, I've got Baxia and Stardust Dragon. Baxia's effect can be activated, talking about a summoning effect, where it shuffles back into the deck, stuff that your opponent has by using him. So you pendulum summon them to make them a level 5 tuner, Synchro for level 8, he goes back to the deck again. And there's Baxia, since you use one Yang Zing as a material, as an earth attribute, you can shuffle one card. That's the most you can shuffle with this deck, since there's only one Yang Zing attributes in this deck. So I wish this effect makes the other guy treat as a Yang Zing monster, but it doesn't. It makes Baxia more broken in this deck. And the additional effect of Baxia is you can summon monsters back from the grave. The best target is probably this, since it gets effect when you summon it. So you can pop your own dude, pop him for example, then summon the Neb search him again for stuff. That's pretty cool. In Stardust Dragon, because you don't want your scales getting destroyed. So it's a good safety play to go into. And it's just Stardust Dragon. I was playing Strap Dragon before, but I think Yazi is enough to pop stuff, as well as these. These are basically Scrap Dragon. Anyway, so I've dropped Scrap Dragon for Stardust. Level 9s and 8s, Xiaofeng and Leo. Xiaofeng, make him by making the level 6 guy a tuner. Pendulum Summon such, make that a tuner, level 9. Or for Leo, make that a tuner, or this a tuner. Then these two can synchro into a Leo, or a Deneb, or a Manju. As long as you make that a tuner, or this guy a tuner, you can make a lot of stuff, mix and match, random combinations of monsters. Xiaofeng, the best level 9 synchro. It's not as good as the other level 7s or level 8 synchros, but if you don't have any other option, make this guy. If you kill something, summon one monster from your deck with that attribute, so read that. So if you kill a light monster, you summon that, for example. Pretty sure it has to be a Yang Zing. It has to be a worm, so yeah, it's not, so far it's not as good. You gotta destroy a monster to summon anything from your deck, but it's still alright, since it's the best level 9 synchro you can make right now. And if you die, you get a tuner. That's a useful effect, since we don't have a tuner in this deck. It's more useful in the Shadow build actually, since you can get a Falco, for example. And last but not least is all your opponent's effect can't be used for each attribute Yang Zing you use. So if you use an Earth, which we are going to, that's the only attribute we have, that's a Yang Zing in this deck, a worm, sorry. That means your opponent can't use Earth decks. So it's only good against Earth decks, but to be honest, it's a 2-8 beat stick at best. I mean, if I had to drop anything, it's just gotta be him, but there's no other good level 9s anyway, so may as well play him. Leo's, because Leo, untargetable, big beat stick, and it's the best level 10 in the game right now. Generic ones, generic wise. So yeah, thanks for watching that Nekroz Satellarknight Zephra deck. Word of warning, if you're making this deck, it's extremely expensive because it's got the Nebs and Bryanak in it, so if you want to build it, just be careful with your spending and stuff. I traded for most of these stuff except for the Nebs, so it was quite easy to build. The Zephra stuff are a tenner at most, but it can pile up after buying all of it. But the field spell is the most expensive one, of course. It's around a tenner or something like that, so not too bad. Anyway, there you go. Zephra Yang Zing. Yang Zing? Yeah, it is Yang Zing, because there's a lot of synchros in Yang Zing Nekroz deck. Do like, subscribe, and comment, all that good stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good one.